Yo, what's up, guys? It's Neutral Zone here, and today we have kind of the culmination of all of our summer scouting videos and player analysis for the 2027 class in our way too early mock draft. I always get hyped for these. I think it's a really fun exercise to try and kind of predictively guess what is in the future for a lot of these teams and players, while also maybe slotting in some of your guys or maybe some picks that you just think are kind of sleepers to happen.
Absolutely.
How are you doing, man? You doing
Dude,
good?
I'm doing good. I've had a weekend off from work. A little bit of a
Yep.
recoup time period for me. So yeah, really excited about that. Got to go back to work tomorrow, but the 2 days off have been good. Getting hyped for this video. It's gonna be good. First 2027 mock draft of the I guess calendar season, you could say.
Yes, sir.
So that's gonna be awesome. Honestly, I haven't really even prepared for this other than for the scouting we've done. So I'm kind of just going into
Which
this
is
mock
pretty
draft.
much all the prep you need, though.
Yeah, no, it is, but I don't really know who I'm gonna pick where, what I'm gonna think. So this is kind of gonna be a choose as you go. So yeah, I'm
I agree.
excited.
Yeah.
So I think we could probably get right into it. And we're just using for all our viewers, we're using PFF's mock draft
Yep.
simulator. I added a few players that I didn't know if we were going to want to draft potentially. But for the most part, this should just be based off of PFF's big board currently. So we're going to go through and do a first round mock draft on PFF.
And before we start, I would just like to preface this video was filmed after the World Cup. I am aware that my GOAT lost, but I don't care. I still love him, so that's why I'm repping the
Uh,
jersey, as I would just wore
it
it
was
to
the
work
passing of
anyways,
the
and I didn't
torch
want to
to
change.
Lamine Yamal, bro.
Lamine, exactly. And now we're just gonna LARP him. So
That's my goat. That's my goat.
that's my GOAT.
He's
It's
younger
totally not
than
like
me,
we're
bro.
both older
He's
than
younger
him.
than
Yes.
me. We're
Oh
chuds, bro. We're
man.
chuds.
Yeah, we gotta get a job. Um, But yeah, you can
Oh my
start with the
god.
Cardinals. I'm interested where you're gonna go here, to be
Yeah,
honest,
I
because there's a lot.
honestly,
There's a lot of
I
options.
don't even know, bro. I don't even know. Um, hmm. This is an
For
interesting
me,
pick.
I think the first three picks are all gonna be quarterback. I
I
personally do.
well, and that's the other thing. Are we picking based on what we think is gonna happen or what we think should happen?
Predictive, a little bit of
Okay.
both. Like
Okay.
if you
Okay.
think the Cardinals are gonna take quarterback, you can take who you think
Because
is your best quarterback. But
because if I'm the Cardinals here, I'm taking Jeremiah Smith because he is the best prospect out of any of these prospects.
that's
Like
fair. I
just
mean, you do
me.
have Carson Beck, so everybody else can kind of like chill,
But
But
if I'm actually going predictive, and I guess they do need a quarterback very bad.
mhm.
Um, I honestly probably go Julian Sane here. Um, I,
Okay.
I think out of the quarterbacks, he was probably my favorite, and because Brendan Sorsby is not going to be draft eligible, I did actually put him in this
Yeah.
mock draft, by the way, so we could take him.
Yeah, he's not going in the first round.
But
He's just not.
I'm looking at all these quarterbacks. Like honestly, Lenore Sellers could maybe be the pick here. I don't know if I'm high enough yet on him. Sam Levitt is a name that gets thrown around, but I think if I'm going off of how they performed last season, and who's higher up currently, I'm probably going Julian Sane here. He's young, he's shown a lot. I really think he has the skills to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Not as high on Dante Moore or Arch Manning, so I think the safest
Mm.
quarterback pick here for the Cardinals is Julian Sane. So I will go Julian Sane at 101. That is my prediction for the first overall pick in the 2027 draft.
So I like the pick. Saying makes sense. I think he's definitely one of. I think there's probably 3 to 4 quarterbacks in conversation for the number one overall pick.
Mhm.
I do have to say I am leaning more predictive because I think it will be cool to try and
Yeah,
get picks right in the future.
that makes
I
sense.
think, I don't really like him, but I think if he has even just like, well, I don't hate him, but I like other prospects more. I think
Right,
Arch
right, right,
Manning I
right.
will take for the Dolphins here. I think the NFL loves him. I think they love the name. I think they love the build. Like he athletically and build wise, he blows Sam out of the water. And I think all it's going to take is one good season at
Mm,
Texas for him to get all the hype in the world to be drafted. And
yeah,
honestly, I think his ceiling's so much higher than Dante Moore's, who is the other top quarterback on the board remaining, that I think the Dolphins are just going to swing big and take Manning here. So with the second pick, I'm going to take Arch Manning. But yeah, I
okay,
look
yeah,
at the
that
top of
works.
this board and I just think it's going to be a very QB heavy class overall.
Yeah,
There's
I
just
would
too many guys.
yeah.
Some are going to have to stand out.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just using PFF's board now. Mine wasn't working for some reason. So we're just gonna go with PFF's, which is fine. I don't think there's really gonna be any problems with that. Um,
Mm,
but so yeah, Julian Say and Arch Manning, that makes sense to me. Both very QB needy teams, and then we come up on the Jets at pick 3. That is another very QB needy team.
yep.
Unless Cade Klubnik has some crazy season, and I do not see that happening.
Yeah, no, it ain't gonna happen.
And honestly, I think here I probably just go Dante Moore.
I would agree. I think Dante Moore to the Jets is inevitable
which
at this
which is
point.
hilarious because I think he avoided the draft this year so that he did
He
not get picked to the
100%
Jets.
did.
But I just think if Arch Manning's gone, Julian Sain's gone, and going off of what we know right now, unless Lenore Sellis has a great season, unless Sam Levitt has a great season, unless someone really jumps up, I think Dante Moore is the best quarterback available, and I think it would make sense for the Jets to go quarterback here because honestly, their team around him is not atrocious. I mean, it's pretty bad, but like not
Yeah.
the worst. It's just their quarterback is the biggest issue, and I think Dante Moore can immediately step into the starting position for them. So I would go Dante Moore at 103.
I 100% agree. I think he is definitely kind of the last of these QBs that are in that elite tier that you could see. I mean, obviously, you have potential in like Mestamaker or
Right.
CJ Carr to maybe step into it, but I think as of right now, these are probably the safest bets. And that leads us to the Raiders. This might just be the easiest pick of the draft. I'm taking Jeremiah Smith.
Yes,
Uh,
I completely
Fernando
agree.
Mendoza does not have an elite target. He does not have an elite weapon.
Hmm.
He gets it in Jeremiah Smith. If this is the case, for how much I disliked Fernando Mendoza and getting drafted 1 overall, there is not a better option for him to have in terms of help in a draft.
Absolutely.
Just to be
Absolutely.
honest, this caliber of player is just so elite. If you want to hear us break him down a ton, we don't really have the time for it in this video. Go to our wide receiver videos. I mean, the glaze is unreal, but it's deserving. I mean, let's
It's
be real. This
absolutely
guy
deserving.
is a monster,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's easily going to be the best player in this class. But due to positional value, he just gets picked at the 4th pick, and the Raiders are definitely grinning with joy as
Oh
they
my
just
God,
get the steal
yeah.
of the drafts. Honestly,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Absolutely. And yeah, you said it. Like the Raiders are sitting here with the 4th pick currently projected. And I
yeah,
would be surprised if they weren't in the top 10 this year. I don't think they're going to make a huge jump
yeah,
with their current roster. And yeah, if they sit at this position with 3 QB needy teams in front of them, they have to be like just drooling at the idea of Jeremiah Smith falling to them at 4. And the
yeah,
crazy thing is, we've talked about this, but this is where Carnell Tate went in this past draft at
yeah.
4, and you're getting Jeremiah Smith at 4. Absolute
hmm
crazy value. Yeah, an
I
excellent.
agree.
It would be an excellent pick for the Raiders. Moving on to the Browns at pick 5.
And I think this is the first really hard pick of the draft
I
because I think
actually,
it depends on if you believe in Shedeur or not.
I actually don't think this is super hard for me. I think I'm gonna go
Okay.
Dylan Stewart.
Oh, okay. See, I
Um,
thought you were gonna go
I think
quarterback,
I think you need to
but
replace Miles Garrett. And well, I mean they got
that's
Jared
interesting.
Verse.
I don't hate this.
I think I'm going to go Dylan Stewart. You have Jared Verse from the Miles Garrett trade, but he will not be able to fill Miles Garrett's shoes on that defense.
No,
He's very,
yeah.
very, very good. But he's not to that level yet. At least maybe he will work up to close to it. But I do not see him filling the Miles Garrett role. And the Browns defense without Miles Garrett is very questionable for me. And I don't know if their pass rush is going to be nearly, well, I know it won't be nearly as good.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, I agree.
I think I'm going to take a pass rusher, and honestly, when I'm looking at this pass rushing board, if I'm going edges,
It's ridiculous.
it's really really good. But I'm looking at Colin Simmons or Dylan Stewart, and I think I
Mhm.
honestly like Dylan Stewart more.
That's
So
fair. I
I
do too. So
I think I'm going to go Dylan Stewart here at 105 for the Browns.
yeah, I think the Browns, that makes sense. They just try and keep a strength to strength. Obviously, if you think they're completely out on Shedeur, they probably draft a quarterback here, but maybe not actually, because I think Dylan Stewart is way more talented, and the positive benefits of having Dylan Stewart over so much of a chance in Mestamaker or Carr is
Mhm.
just maybe not worth it at that point. But that leads me to the Titans, which, at first I was thinking maybe wide receiver again because
Yeah.
it wouldn't hurt. But I think for the caliber of player that's available, it would probably be Cam Coleman. I
Okay.
think I I'm not saying I want to draft him. I'm saying that's who they would take if they went.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think that Salah is going to take just the best defensive player available, and I think the NFL is going to view Leonard Moore as maybe close to a generational corner
Okay.
prospect. So I think they're going to go get their guy, Leonard Moore, get a lockdown corner. I think they just acquired a lot of their D-line assets this year through free agency and through the draft. And I think they're now going to try and beef up that secondary. And the Titans look to be a really dangerous team if this could be their future
Yeah.
within the next 2 to 3 years, honestly, and Cam Ward works
Hmm.
out. But yeah, that
Absolutely.
leaves you with the Panthers, man, which this is an interesting pick, too.
Panthers at 7, which I'm not exactly sure how PFF is. Does PFF decide the ranking based on like over unders or like where they're projected? Kind of. I'm not
Um,
sure like how they decide who
yeah,
goes
I was going to say
where.
they're low-key disrespecting the
Because the
Panthers.
Panthers are extremely high in my opinion here. Like I get they're probably not going to be like
Yeah.
super good contenders, but I don't think they're going
I
to be
think they're
bottom
going to be better than
7.
the Saints, Falcons, Giants,
Yeah,
Commanders.
I would agree.
I kind of agree. I would be amazed if they're picking here. I mean, this is a playoff team last year, but anyways,
But I'm trying to
I'm
think. This
interested to
is a
see where you
tough
go
pick.
here.
This is a really tough pick. I'm just trying to think of like their biggest needs.
Can I
I
give you
don't.
my input as a fan
Yeah,
of the I
absolutely,
like
bro,
the
absolutely.
Panthers. I think if Colin Simmons is on the board, they take him here.
I was kind of thinking that just because he's the
Like,
best player available.
yes, I
And
think that's how they're viewing him.
I don't think it really is like that. Like I feel like teams that take the best player available, it usually works out.
Yes.
And I don't think that there's really a player I'm looking at here that I would take over Colin Simmons, David Stone, but they really already have a good defensive interior. Um,
Mm,
and I really don't think they need David Stone. And like they have a decent edge room, but I think Colin Simmons would really buff that up. So yeah, I
I
think I'm gonna
agree.
go Colin Simmons here. Because yeah,
Yeah.
they already addressed offensive line in this last draft in Freeling. And we don't know how
Hmm.
that's going to work out, but I don't think they're going to go 2 first-round picks in a row of
Yes.
offensive line. So yeah, I'll go Colin Simmons here for the Panthers, and the Giants are on the clock.
Yeah, and this is a hard one for me. I might need your help because I think
Yeah.
the only position that I can scratch off entirely is probably their D line. I would find it very hard to believe they invest this valuable of an asset into their D line, or
Mhm.
at least they're very close, like the box as well, 3 years in a
Well,
row.
I,
So I'm kind of thinking I'm leaning towards tackle, but what do you
well, what I
think?
was gonna say, they just lost Dexter Lawrence.
Mm,
So
that
could
is
they go?
true.
Could they go David Stone here?
They could.
Um,
And it wouldn't surprise me. The only thing is I'm trying to kind of think of a Harbaugh player.
yeah, that's
Uh
fair.
and for me, I also think a lot of this relies on how the Malik Neighbors saga works out this season. If
Hmm.
he is
Absolutely.
injured or is not as good as he was, they're gonna take a receiver here, I think. But if he is completely fine, then I definitely think they invest assets other way,
Yeah.
in other positions. But I kind of do like that David Stone shout out. I think that you keep your strength to strength, you keep that
Hmm.
D line absolutely monstrous, and
Yeah.
David Stone, man, is also just probably one of the best players on the board. I mean, let's be
He really
honest. So
is. Yeah.
getting a
But
premium defensive tackle is so important.
yeah, I do get what you're saying. I think tackle would be good for them. Their offensive line has struggled
Hmm.
as of recently, so I think that would make sense. There are a lot of good tackles on the board in Carter Smith, Trevor Gooseby, Caden Green,
Yeah.
um, Jordan Seaton, even if you want to dive a little deeper. Yeah, I think that makes
Well,
sense.
yeah, I was actually I think David Stone makes sense, but you said a name that sparked my interest and I'm throwing it all out the window. I'm
Oh,
taking
okay.
Jordan Seaton, man.
Jordan Seaton.
Uh
All right.
he is easily my favorite tackle prospect as of now, and I think he is going to turn into an absolute demon under Kiffin. And the only reason that I didn't draft him right away is because he's not at the top of this board, to be honest, and I just didn't really see him. I had to scroll down a little bit, but once I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, duh, this is my guy right here. I
Yeah.
think it makes sense. I think you get a franchise tackle. I think he's an elite tackle too, and I just think it makes their team and their offense so much better, and also makes their offense so much safer with Dart as a rushing
Absolutely.
threat. So, yeah, onto the Falcons though. I think that is an interesting pick for the Giants.
Falcons. Yeah. I'm trying to think where I would probably go here.
Well, I think it kind of depends on Pierce Jr. That's
It
definitely
it definitely
part of
does.
it.
And
Mm,
yeah, there's a lot of offensive line. There's a lot of like you got receivers.
I'm gonna be honest. I find it hard to believe. Well, and it kind of depends a lot on how Zach Branch works out. If Cam Coleman's on the board though,
Yeah, Cam
or
Coleman.
there's a lot
I
of things though because their quarterback room is kind of atrocious. Do you take a swing on Levitt or
I was gonna say,
Mestamaker?
yeah. Do you go like Lenora Sellers here?
Yeah, I think it kind of depends. A lot falls on how much more time do you think this organization gives Penix? Or if
Mm-hmm.
you think Tua's going to be fine, do you think they stick with Tua?
Right.
Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
Personally, I think they would probably take Cam Coleman here and ride it out with their quarterback one more year.
Mm-hmm.
But if one of these quarterbacks is speaking to you, man, go ahead and take him.
Man, I was also looking still at David Stone. I don't know necessarily if they need him that much.
Uh, I don't think so because they just traded for that defensive tackle who's really good against the run from the Jaguars because they traded Aurora to
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did do that.
I think James Smith is maybe his name, James something.
Yeah, I'm
But
blanking on his name. But I
I
know what you're talking about
feel
because they
like
traded Aurora or
Aurora.
whatever.
Yeah,
Aurora.
yeah.
Um, yeah, Cam Coleman is definitely a pick here.
Mm, it's
Yeah,
tough.
if I'm looking at this board, I think it's probably Cam Coleman because I mean I was gonna look at other receivers because I'm not the highest still on Cam Coleman,
Hmm.
but like if he does have a good year at Texas, this is definitely a solid
For
pick for the
sure.
Falcons. So yeah, I'll go Cam
Yeah.
Coleman here. I think that makes sense. Really just depends on how Zach Branch turns out. And
Yeah.
then yeah, if he's not very great, and I think did they get Darnell Mooney as well for a wide receiver too, kind of.
No, they had him before, but I think
Or is
he
he on the
is not
Giants?
on the team. Yeah, I think I was gonna say I think he's on the Giants. That's what I
I'm trying
thought.
to think. Yeah, I mean Cam Coleman would be an excellent wide receiver too,
Yeah, pairing with
for Drake
London.
London. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll go Cam Coleman here. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, so now we have the Saints, and hmm, they're kind of a team too where it depends on a lot, to be honest.
Definitely.
If if Shuck isn't that good and kind of falls apart like a lot of people think he might, then maybe they take a quarterback here.
Hmm.
If Olave is really, really banged up all year and it's kind of looking like that's just going to be the type of player he is, then maybe they
Yeah.
invest in wide receiver here.
Well, and
I
Jordan
think their
Tyson
O
too.
line's fine. Yeah, Tyson's also banged up. I think that they probably just go with a safe pick in a really good player in an important position. I think they take David Stone here. You beef up that
Okay.
interior defensive line.
Yeah.
Brian Brzee they took in 2022, and I know he hasn't really been what they expected, so they probably take Stone here to fill in that role and overall just try and beef up that D line because defensive tackle is still such a premium position in the NFL, and they're going to be super
Absolutely.
happy if they get a prospect like David Stone here. So that would be my
Absolutely.
pick for them.
All right, so David Stone at the 110. At 111, we have the Commanders. This to me has to be secondary. I don't really like the Commanders secondary as of now.
It's not great.
It's
That
not
is true.
great. And I'm looking at like Ellis Robinson, KJ Bolden, Kelly Jones could be.
Mm,
I actually kind of like that.
That's who I was eyeing out, to be honest.
Here, wait. I want to look. Like, could Bryce Pollock go here?
I mean, if we
Is
want to
that
go that
crazy?
crazy, we can.
Xavier
But
Brown.
I would probably err on the side of caution
Yeah,
before
I'm
taking
actually
Pollock.
I'm thinking Kelly Jones honestly here.
I don't mind that.
I
Um,
When I'm looking at like KJ Bold, it's for me it's KJ Bolden or Kelly Jones. I'm not huge on the Ellis Robinson train yet. I would like to see another good season at Georgia for him. But Kelly Jones with his measurables and his athletic ability, I actually really like for the Commanders here. I'm gonna go Kelly Jones.
yeah, and I mean, you can just look in history and when was the last time that the Commanders taking a corner from Mississippi State ever gone wrong? It's just always been
No,
so good for them.
never, bro,
So,
never.
but funnily enough, is Kelly Jones is like quite the opposite player that Emmanuel Forbes is, and that
Hmm.
he's has all the size in the world.
Right.
that Forbes lacked. So
Right.
I actually think this is a really good pick for them. And now we're back to the Jets. They took Dante Moore, and
Jets got another pick here. They have another one
they
coming up at 16 as well.
they do. They have set themselves up very, very well in this draft.
Absolutely.
And I think that they probably try to get their Sauce replacement, I would think. And considering there is still some very good corners on the board,
Mm-hmm.
notably Ellis Robinson and Zabian Brown,
Yes.
I'm thinking that it's probably going to be one of those two.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Bias tells me Zabian, but look purely off of right now, I think that Ellis's ceiling is just a lot higher. I think he's shown
Yeah.
a lot more. So I think I'm probably going to take Ellis Robinson here, and you get a really, really, really good corner at the pick 12. I mean, we're talking about a guy that probably would have been like the third overall player in last year's big board for me. And on, just in this draft being so much stronger, he now goes like 12.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Ellis Robinson to the Jets. I don't mind that pick, man. Just boost that
Yeah.
defense up.
I think that makes sense. And theoretically, they could get both Zabian Brown and Ellis Robinson if they really want.
They could. They could.
But moving on to the Steelers at 13, this would be one of the earliest picks the Steelers would have in recent memory.
Yes, it would be.
And this is kind of an interesting pick. I'm trying to think what
I know who I would take. I would get spicy, but I'll let you think through it.
you would get spicy. Okay, I'm
I would
trying to
get
think
spicy.
where I would go here. Kind of just scrolling through. Quarterback is definitely on the top of the list for me. They really
Sam Levitt. Huh? Did I say something? That's weird.
Yeah, Sam Levitt would actually be interesting. I actually do really like Drew Mestemaker as well. I'd like to see him play well at Oklahoma State first.
That would make sense.
But if he had a really good season at Oklahoma State, I could see him going here. I honestly am thinking CJ Carr.
That's not. I really, really liked Carr too. Honestly, that makes
If
a ton
I'm-
of sense.
if I'm going
Honestly,
off
any
of-
one of those
yeah.
guys would have been fine for me.
I mean, Brendan Sorsby, if he was in this draft, I would have already taken him. But
yeah. So
yeah,
you're taking CJ Carr?
I think so. I want to hear what you were going to say first, though.
No, I just that makes complete sense to me. I was gonna take Levitt.
Okay.
Because I feel like I like his ceiling a little bit more.
Yeah,
And I
that's
also
fair.
question if Carr will be in this draft. With how young he is, I think if
Mm-hmm.
he has a really, really good season, he'll go. But then I don't think he'll be drafted
Yeah.
at 13. I think he'll be drafted higher.
Right.
So I kind of either think it's like top 5 or back to school for Carr.
Okay.
But in terms of talent, I don't hate it. I
Yeah.
think Carr is, good enough to go at the 13th overall pick right here and good enough to start in the NFL. So
yeah, so
I think that
I'm
makes
going to go
sense to
Carr.
me.
I think I'm going to go Carr here.
yeah,
But Sam Levitt makes a lot of sense. Like, I feel like he has the highest room to improve with Lane Kiffin head coach and a good LSU squad.
yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna go CJ Carr, based off what I've seen as of now. And now you get to pick for your good old
For the
Minnesota
Vikings, yeah, it worked out perfectly. And honestly, it's kind of a mess because I feel like all the quarterbacks on the board, I don't like any of enough to take here. And honestly, I think, if you kind of have fallen out of this range at quarterback, it's hard for a lot of these quarterbacks to go.
Right.
They usually then end up falling into the second. And I don't know what the hell is going to happen with our quarterback room,
Absolutely.
to be honest.
Yeah.
I think there's like a million different scenarios and, maybe it leads to us drafting a quarterback. But I think if we're picking at 14, we probably either trade up or just stay here and not take one. So I'm just going to go for the best player available at a position of need. And I think KJ Bolden is a really good player
That's
at
what I was gonna
safety.
say.
This is kind of rich. I don't know if they would take a safety this high, but kind of looking at this board and looking at what we need, it doesn't really feel like there's any other player. I mean, like, we're good on both tackles. I mean, maybe we take a tackle to kind of fill in, just kind of for the next man up. But at 14, I don't know. And we just took Caleb Banks, so all the defensive interiors that are here feel kind of rich. We don't need a wide receiver and Ryan Coleman Williams, although that would be awesome if we traded Addison
Right.
and then somehow got him.
Dude, and that's your
But
Alabama boy too. That would
that's
be
what I'm saying. That's
yeah.
what I wouldn't mind it. But I think KJ Bolden, we need a safety. He's really, really versatile. I think he'd fit in right in with Flores' scheme. I think it's actually perfect. And just like the Commanders, when was the last time taking a safety from Georgia ever went wrong for the Vikings? So we're
Right.
taking KJ Bolden here.
Yeah.
And
I
yeah,
like
I
that
wouldn't
pick.
mind that pick if this was real. So
Yeah, I think that's who I would have taken as well. I was looking at the board, and you guys did not take Dylan Thieneman in this last draft, which I thought for sure you were.
unfortunately, yep,
Unfortunately, but in that case, if this happened to be the board when it fell to you, I think KJ Bolden would be a solid, not replacement, but supplementary pick, I guess, for that.
for sure.
So yeah, KJ Bolden at 14, and at the 115 spot, almost halfway through the first round, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Hmm.
Man, this is an interesting pick.
This is very interesting.
They took Ruben Bain in this first
Hmm.
round of the last draft, so that kind of
And then they
addresses
took,
edge.
yep, their linebacker
Um,
room, I think, is probably good.
I think their linebacker room is fine. Yeah,
I would
I mean,
think,
there's so
who's
many
their other
tackles on the
tackle outside
board.
of Tristan Wirfs? That's kind of who I'm thinking.
I'm thinking tackle here just because there's so many on the board, and
Hmm.
it can never hurt to boost your offensive line, especially when the board isn't that great for you for what you're looking for.
Exactly.
Um, I'm looking at Carter Smith, who I feel like has fallen a little bit compared to his
Hmm.
rank on PFF. Trevor Gooseby, maybe. Um, Other than those two, I mean, maybe Caden Green. I think I'm probably just going to go best player available and go Carter Smith here. I
Okay,
don't. I feel like that makes sense. I don't think they're going to take another edge. They want to see how Ruben Bain does. They don't
for
need wide
sure.
receiver. They don't need linebacker in the first round, especially this early. No safety. They don't need a running back. Yeah, I think Carter Smith as the best player available makes sense here for them. Pair him with
Yeah,
Tristan Wirfs. Tristan Wirfs is getting older. Get him a little, I guess, give him a veteran to help him along the way. Yeah, I'm going to go Carter Smith here.
for sure. Yeah, I think that makes a ton of sense. And just kind of looking at the board, it feels like the Bucks are just a very good team overall. So when you have a player of the caliber of Carter Smith, who could be the potential first
Right,
tackle and maybe a top 10 pick, it feels like you just kind of take him. And this is
right.
what Jason Light's really good at, is identifying that talent and just taking it.
Absolutely.
So this feels like a very Bucks pick to me, um, for at least it being a very speculative early draft. And now I have the Jets, and I just think they're gonna beef up a very, very important position, keep that defense good. I think
Hmm.
AJ Holmes is sitting here. I'm looking at DT. I
Yeah.
think it's between like AJ Holmes, maybe Amari Washington. Actually, scratch that. There is a better defensive tackle. He's just
I know exactly what
disrespected.
you're going to
I
say,
was
Will
gonna,
Eccles.
um, I was gonna go Ahmad Moten,
Oh, really? I was going to go Will
but
Eccles.
Will Eccles is also a damn good pick. Who do I think is better? I'm trying to remember. I like them both. I think Will Eccles was very high for me though.
Will
I
Eccles
think
was my second favorite tackle, defensive tackle.
is he on this board? Is he on
Yeah,
PFF?
he's at 32.
Oh yeah, okay. Um, hmm. I think I'm gonna take, if I had to project, I think Miami D linemen are a little more safer. I feel like they
Hmm.
consistently become more pro ready. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna take Ahmad Moten, although Will Eccles, knowing that he's on the board, maybe will be one of my next picks coming up here because he's also a
yeah,
really damn good player.
for sure. I think that makes sense. Definitely, Ahmad Moten is a proven player,
Mm,
and that would greatly beef up the Jets' defensive line. Um, so yeah, I definitely do not mind that pick at all for the Jets.
yeah,
And now I get to pick for the Bears at 117. I also feel like this is a little disrespectful for where their spot's going to be.
I kind of agree too.
But for the Bears, I'm looking at edge. I like this is a very good edge class. They
Hmm.
really need one. I'm looking at Damon Wilson. I think that would be
That would make sense to me.
that would make sense. I think Anthony Smith is a little bit rich for 17.
I agree.
Um,
Yep.
Mateo Ugalele, I'm trying to say his name right. I keep messing it up.
Hmm.
He's very freakish, but I think like Damon Wilson's ceiling more. I don't think John Henry Daly goes at 17.
No. I did not like him at all.
I'm just looking at other positions to see if I want to take someone other than Damon Wilson.
You know who I kind of thought of right away because I think it would make this offense like ridiculously scary?
Yeah.
Kewan Lacey, I think, would be absolutely insane on this team. I was thinking between him or Ahmad Hardy.
I didn't even
I
think
think
about that, bro.
this offense becomes maybe the best offense in the league with Kewan Lacey. If Caleb Williams can take a step further with a versatile ass player like Kewan, and this whole team's so young too, I think that would be disgusting. But it is a running back at 17, so
yeah.
Although I think Kewan's good enough. I think Kewan is 100% good enough.
He definitely is good enough. Do I think the Bears would take a running back at 17?
It's hard to say. I know Ben Johnson
really
likes taking his off. I mean, they took a tight end at 10.
Yeah, that's true. That is very
true.
Who
was viewed as a late back end of the first type player. So they don't care. They take their guys. If they like someone, they take them.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, that's actually a good point. I did not think about.
It's your pick, though, so.
I know. I think I'm still going to go Damon Wilson. I like the Kewan idea because I do like Kewan in that backfield with Caleb Williams. And I think he would be a very versatile part to that offense. But I just look at the Bears' edge room, and it's kind of atrocious, and they did not really address it this offseason or in the draft. So, yeah, I'm going to go Damon Wilson.
Yeah, and I'm just going to scoop our guy up right here. I think after Travis Etienne left to the Saints, I think the Jags, they kind of want their offense to stay the same. They want it to stay dangerous, and they really need a really damn good running back prospect. And if Kewan Lacey's on the board, I think they either take probably one of him or Ahmad Hardy. I just think Kewan's a little bit younger. He's better in the pass game. He's better in pass pro, I think. He's just bigger, so I think he's a lot better of a prospect. And, Kewan goes to the Jags, and I think they just try to keep their offense scary and versatile, man.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Pick 19 is the Texans. Ooh.
This is an interesting...
I was actually looking at wide receiver here. I know they have picked a lot of receivers recently.
Yeah, I know who I would take. Because I think, I don't know. This is an interesting spot. This is a very interesting
spot. They could
spot.
also go running back.
Well, they did just take...
Well, they have David Montgomery.
Well, they have Jadarian Price, too.
Oh, no, they don't. That's the Seahawks.
No, that's the Seahawks. Duh. Yeah. They could take Hardy then. Or they could take Hardy. They could take Frazier. Fletcher. They could take any of the running backs. So, really.
Yeah. Or they could take Ryan Coleman Williams.
They could. I think a lot depends on how C.J. Stroud plays, to be very honest with you.
For sure.
And what they deem as the weakness of it.
I was also just looking at the fact that Trevor Gooseby is still available.
I was thinking Caden Green, but in the same position. Because Green's versatile enough to play guard, too, so he could kind of just draft him, and he's a really good O-lineman for you. But if you don't like him as much, Gooseby's still an amazing pick.
I think almost with how this board fell, they don't really need defense at all. They've addressed almost every position on defense. They have an excellent D-line. They have an excellent secondary. If anything, I would probably take a linebacker, but they really don't need one. I think I might just go Trevor Gooseby and take the best player available, and he beefs up their O-line. Because their O-line looked atrocious last year, and if it doesn't change this year, they're probably going to be looking for another offensive lineman, especially because I didn't really like Kalen Rutledge in the first round. I'm going to go Trevor Gooseby.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense to me. I get it. I was kind of at the same mindset of O-line anyways. And Gooseby's obviously the top tackle on PFF Sports, so I think, it just makes sense. The Broncos, this is interesting because I think they could go a lot of different directions here.
They could. Yeah, there's...
Oh, man. Do they beef up their O-line? The Broncos are weird because it feels like they lack superstars, but their team's still really good. So I know they have a lot of really good players everywhere. So I'm just kind of trying to think of position groups. And I'm like, well, they don't have like a stud there. But I'm like, I know like they're both decent, So it's like,
Right.
it's kind of hard in that sense. Am
Yeah.
I missing someone in their running back room?
They have RJ
Cause,
Harvey. They have
yup,
they just
did they?
drafted the guy from what's his name? Oh shoot.
Oh, Nebraska? No, he went to the Chiefs. He went to the Chiefs. Summer
No,
Johnson.
I, he's
So
on the tip of my
probably not
tongue.
running back. Hmm.
Um, Jonah Coleman.
Oh, they did draft him. That's right. Yeah. So I don't think they take running back here. Am I? Their defensive interior could be boosted. Yes,
I'm trying to think.
because I think
Well, their
AJ
edge
Holmes at the
room.
Will Eccles at the top of the board here is kind of looking at me like
I think
that makes
DT
a
would
ton of
make sense.
sense.
I think they're good on edge. I don't really think they need an edge.
Yeah,
Um,
I
I think
think Will
DT could make
Eccles though
sense.
is kind of looking at me like, hey, I'm one of the best players on the board. Why am I still here at 20? So, if they kind of need
Yeah.
that really good player right here,
The
I think they could
other
definitely
place I
take
was
him.
looking kind of sneakily is tight end.
With trade,
Um,
yes. Did
like
they not just
Jamari
draft
Johnson.
did they not just draft dude from Vanderbilt? I swear they did.
Not they. No, that was the Eagles.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Um,
Well, in
they,
that case, then maybe
they
they do.
I think they took
I
the guy
think you
from
might be
NC. I
right.
think they took the guy from NC State.
Jolie, they took Justin Jolie. That's
Yeah.
no, he went to I thought he went to the Browns.
Um,
Is there
they got. Yeah, no, they took Jolie. They took Jolie, and
Oh,
they
okay.
took Dale. They took Dallin Bentley as well.
Well,
But
both those guys are
those are fifth
not
and
good
seventh round
enough.
picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking Trade as Green.
Okay.
I
All
mean,
right.
that makes a ton of sense. I
Yeah,
know like
I
every
think
year the Broncos get mocked to take a tight end and they like never do.
and
They
they
just
just
don't
don't.
value
Yeah,
it. But like, dude, Trade as Green is really, really good.
for
And
sure.
it's hard to predict what the Broncos are going to need right now. And damn, we're talking about disrespect, dude. They were just in the conference championship, and they're
Mhm.
picking at 20. I just realized that
Yeah,
too. Like,
that's
what are we
crazy.
doing?
Yeah, they
Um,
they must just think they're gonna regress or something.
which it's not that
Which is
crazy, but
possible.
yeah.
Um,
Um, yeah, I
yeah,
just have them taking Trade as Green. I think it makes a ton of sense, and he's a really, really good player. So
yeah, and I think it is a point to mention that I think a lot of these LSU players, if they have the season that we're projecting, are going to bump up a
yeah,
lot. And
yeah,
I could definitely see Trade as Green ending the season in the top 20 on PFF's big board.
For
Um,
100%.
So I actually do like that pick. I think taking him over Jamari Johnson
Jamari
makes
Johnson.
sense. Jamari Johnson is
Yeah.
just freaky athletic, so
Mhm.
I think they might value production.
I agree.
But now at 121, we have the Bengals.
This is
They just
interesting.
got Dexter Lawrence, so I don't think I'm going to take AJ Holmes. If this was pre-Dexter Lawrence trade, I might have.
For sure.
Offensive line is still definitely Caden Green.
Austin
They
Serield, I think there's
they
decent
just
picks there.
lost
Yeah.
they just lost Trey Hendrickson. They replaced him with the guy from A&M. Right? From A&M, not from A&M.
No, from I know who you're. Yeah, Cassius Howell. Yeah,
Yes,
and
Cassius Howell.
yeah,
A&M. Yep. So they got Cassius Howell, so they're probably not going to take edge either. I think he's probably going to fill in pretty well for Trey Hendrickson. Maybe not as productive right
yeah.
away. I'm honestly
Well,
looking.
they invested in Shamar Stewart too, and I know he's not been good for
Yep.
them, but I doubt they
Yep.
go edge 3 years in a row.
I don't think they do. Their running back room is fine. They have Chase Brown. I don't think they would take a running back here. I'm honestly looking O-line. I think Caden Green might be a pick.
That's
here
who I
because-
would have taken.
because
Yeah.
they're just probably going best player available. That's not AJ Holmes because they don't need defensive interior. They don't need wide receiver. Obviously, they have like the best wide receiver room in the league.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Caden Green here. I think that makes sense. Beef up their O line, protect Joe Burrow a little bit more, and I think at
Yeah.
21 is honestly good value.
Yeah, I think that makes a ton of sense. And now we have the Patriots, who I feel like are also kind of being disrespected because they were literally just in the Super Bowl and now they're picking
Yeah.
at 22. But let's see. There's a lot of really good players on the board, and they're kind of once again like the Broncos, where it's like they're just really good overall. Like
Right.
honestly. And I feel like they made some sneaky signings. Like I was thinking about taking maybe Ryan Williams here,
Yeah,
but does the contract you gave to Romeo Dobbs kind of dissuade you from that? I don't
right.
know.
Right. And I
Um,
actually do think adding AJ Brown and Romeo Dobbs does really, really beef up their wide receiver
well,
room. I
yeah, and
think
they
they
have
have a
AJ
good
Brown too. Yeah,
I think they have a good wide receiver room. I don't think they'd go wide receiver here just because of
I
the
kind
offseason
of
moves they've made.
agree.
But they definitely could. It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I'm
But
more or
yeah,
less just thinking of help for May, but it kind of feels weird to take. I know, it feels like if you're picking at 22 and you're getting Williams, you're kind of getting a really, really good player in a discount. But if he's
right.
your wide receiver 3, it's like,
Why are you taking him in the first round when you could have taken a
yeah.
position of need?
I
Um,
kind of think that then maybe it would be, I mean, they have Milton Williams though. Like AJ Holmes is enticing. Didn't
what
they
about
just
like
take? I feel like they just took an edge rusher too. Yeah,
what
they
about
took
Jamari
Akers, didn't they?
Johnson?
Maybe.
I mean, they have
Who's their tight end now? Don't they
what
have
I'm blanking on his
Hunter
name.
Henry?
Hunter Henry, yeah.
I mean, damn, this is just hard.
This is a hard pick.
I mean, do they
Um,
take like a linebacker
I was
here?
gonna say linebacker, maybe. Like, do they take
Who
Viliamu Asa?
wait, who is their corner two? Because they could make a really scary rip.
Xavier. They
I'm
could take
looking at
Xavier Brown here.
I'm looking at Zabian Brown. Like if you have Zabian Brown as your corner two,
Let me look at their depth chart. They
like
have Carlton Davis and Marcus Jones.
yeah, I'm taking Zabian Brown.
I think that makes sense. Actually,
That
I actually really like that. I really like that.
no, I
Actually,
think that's really good, and I feel like Zabian Brown is definitely a better player than getting picked at 22. So they probably just feel
yeah,
like they got a steal.
yeah. That
And
makes sense to me.
speaking of steals, the Eagles here are going to get a player that they probably don't deserve, to be honest. So
In Ryan Williams.
well, yeah, you could take it. There's just a ton of good players still available, honestly. That's kind of where I was leaning. But yeah,
Oh,
Ryan
I
Williams
get what you're
too.
saying. I mean, they just lost AJ Brown. They have Devontae Smith, and they added Dontavian Wicks. I think wide receiver is definitely something they could attack here in the first round. Oh, they had Makai Lemon too. I didn't think about that. Probably not wide receiver.
Mm,
Um,
yeah. I mean,
who's their current
dude,
DT? Am I blanking?
that's why I'm just like AJ Holmes is here, bro. And it's
Yeah.
like he's got to go
Well,
eventually.
I was even like looking at like Will Eccles,
Or
bro.
Eccles. Yeah, one of these two guys has got to go. And it's like I can't. The Eagles' defensive I mean, they have Jalen Carter
Yeah,
and they
that's true.
have Jordan Davis. So I mean, it kind of feels obsolete for them to take a defensive tackle. But like, if they're thinking about not paying Jordan Davis, which I feel like I've heard rumors of, I don't think he's under contract.
Yeah, and then
Or maybe even Jalen Carter because he's kind of a head case.
well,
I,
who are their edges, bro?
their edges are didn't know because they just
But
lost Jalen
let me
Phillips,
look. Moro
Panthers.
Ojomo and Byron Young. They have Byron Young.
Maybe the worst one. There's two of them I know.
It must be. Uar Bernard, bro.
Yeah, I think they probably go edge here because they
I
traded
think
for Jalen Phillips last year for a reason.
and this is a good edge class. I'm
No, I
looking.
mean Mateo is kind of here. Like
Yeah, I think Mateo could be good here. I think I'm trying to think. Hold up.
I actually think
Let's-
Anthony Smith would kind of make sense too. I mean, it's a little rich, but like
yeah, I don't think I'd take him over Mateo.
that's fair.
I'm gonna go Mateo here. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't mind that pick at all.
I,
It
I don't
makes a
really
ton
know
of
where I
sense.
would go there, honestly, if I was the Eagles.
No, yeah, it's hard. Maybe trading down. Hard
Yeah,
to really
trading down
say.
for
I
sure
think
could definitely.
it once again kind of depends. There's so much question marks regarding the Eagles that it's
Right.
like it depends so much on how they play. But now we have the
Definitely.
Chargers, and who's in their defensive interior? Because I'm trying to get these. defensive tackles off the board, man. They deserve it.
Chargers.
And I'm just thinking, like, I don't think there's any notable names.
They have Dalvin Tomlinson.
He's fine.
That's pretty much they play one nose tackle and then Jamari Caldwell, Tier Tart.
Yeah, I'm thinking they probably take Eccles here then.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I mean, that makes a ton of sense. You get a really, really, really good player, and he can kind of do what you want for him in that defensive front with his size. So, I mean,
I think that makes
clearly
sense.
care about your D line too, based off of how you invested into it this year. And
Right.
yeah, I think it would be you need a good D line to close out playoff games, which they kind of need because they really want to get a win with Justin Herbert. So I think if you invest in Will Eccles here, I mean, man, can we talk about how crazy you get Will Eccles? Will Eccles going at 24. That's how good this class is.
Oh my gosh.
Will
dude,
Eccles probably would have been a
bro.
top 5 pick this year. Like genuinely.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
And he's this is just nuts to me that this is how good this class is. It feels like we're taking a top 10 player almost every single pick.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I mean, how tragic would it be if you traded your first round pick to the Cowboys in the first round or something? Like, who would do that? That would really suck.
Yeah, and it would be crazy
right?
if they got like the second best edge in the entire
Yeah.
NFL.
But you could draft AJ Holmes.
Yeah,
but yeah,
bro,
you're picking for the Cowboys, and I'm interested.
I am picking for the Cowboys. This is a pick that the Cowboys received from the Packers, and they are projecting the Packers to be pretty far back in the first round, which, I mean, I don't know how you
I
feel
feel like that's
about
like
the
decent
Packers.
range.
I feel like that makes sense. Honestly, I think that's probably about where we'll fall. I think 23 through 25 would make sense. But if I'm the Cowboys here, they just took Caleb Downs and Malachi Lawrence in the draft. They have why am I blanking on his name from the Jets? Quinnen Williams. They traded for Rashawn Gary, so huge move for them. I'm joking, by the way.
But it feels like they're sneakily very good. I
was telling our friend Alec, who's a Cowboys fan, I actually do think the Cowboys are going to be pretty competitive this year. They really beefed up their defense, and their offense has always been good. Now I'm looking at I'm honestly almost thinking wide receiver here.
I was gonna say,
because George Pickens is on a franchise tag, I would not be surprised if they lose him after this year. Because
I was gonna say, could I sell you on Ryan Williams?
I'm thinking about actually going Ryan Williams here.
I feel like it makes sense to me.
And their wide receiver 3 is what, Flournoy?
Yeah. That makes sense because I also think like the personality makes sense. I think he immediately becomes a really big fan favorite too. Yeah. And he adds the speed outside of CD's route running. Even if he's your 3 even if he's your 3, like to me, and you keep Pickens, that's still really, really good in this worst case scenario. So
I think this is honestly, it's funny because we were just talking how the Packers traded this pick. I think this is kind of like a Matthew Golden situation. Like Ryan Coleman Williams is a better player probably, but like you get him, he doesn't have a ton of but
you're kind of stashing him.
But you're kind of stashing him for when you lose players. I think Ryan Coleman Williams makes sense here for the Cowboys. Like for the reasons you just said, he has speed. He can play the 2 behind CeeDee Lamb if George Pickens is a lost
Cowboy.
I'm gonna go Ryan Coleman Williams. I think that makes sense for them.
Yeah, and now we have the Chiefs, who this is very interesting to me because who did they just take in the first round this year?
They took Mansour Delane and they took
Delane
Peter Woods.
And they took Peter Woods. So that knocks off. I don't think you're going to take a defensive tackle. The Rashee Rice situation, that kind of depends. I think running back was interesting, but then they signed Kenneth Walker.
Yep, and then they also took Emmett Johnson.
They took Emmett Johnson. I mean, is Jamari Johnson a pick here? Kelsey's probably retiring.
Yeah.
You don't really have a good enough 2, and you want someone to kind of just fill in that role because Mahomes is super comfortable with his tight end blankets. I think that makes sense to me.
Right.
Unless there's another position that jumps out to you. The only thing I can think of is maybe O-line, but I
I was
don't
gonna
really
say
know
maybe
who I would take.
tackle.
Like maybe like Saraviel,
Yeah, I don't know.
but
Is
I
he?
don't
Yeah,
love him.
I was gonna say I don't know how
So
good he is to be picked at here at 26. Trevor
yeah,
Locke maybe.
yeah. I
I
kind of
yeah.
feel like Jamari Johnson just makes a lot more sense
There's
than any
not
other names on the board.
yeah. There's not a lot. I mean, they also could take another corner. They did lose two really good corners.
And they
Um,
could, but I kind of look at the corner board and it's like, I mean, Pollock's there, Peel's there, but I don't know. Do you take it over Like they value tight ends so
yeah,
much that
yeah,
it's
that's true.
like, and I think
I
Jamari is also going to be viewed higher than those two players, to be
I
honest.
don't mind
So
Jamari Johnson here. I think that would make sense. End of the first round, he
yeah,
has really high athletic ability. He has a high ceiling. They are going to want to replace Kelsey because Kelsey, this might be his last year. Like this might
yeah.
be it.
Unk should have hung it up a while ago, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
genuinely, he should already be done, bro.
But yeah, now
Uh,
we have the 49ers, which this
49ers
is
and
interesting.
yeah, so they got Mike Evans and they also had a bad draft in our opinion.
Yes, they
Um,
did.
So if we're doing a 49ers pick here, we would probably scroll to the bottom of the board and
Yup.
take
Clev
Javante.
Lubin. Yeah, I was gonna
But
say
then
someone random.
we would trade down. They also took Dejon Streebling. So they're
Yeah.
probably not going to go wide receiver here. Um,
Do you think they try and get a jump on Trent Williams, maybe?
maybe, and yeah, maybe they go
You
Austin
know?
Zierveld.
That's kind of what I was thinking with
The
with like the players on the board, but
the other thing is they could just take AJ Holmes and just say, "What are we doing? He's available."
yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think don't they need defensive tackle kind of? Like who's in their defensive tackle room? I
I'm
can't
pretty sure
off the
didn't they
top of
just
my
trade?
head.
They trade for someone from the Cowboys. What's his name?
No,
Osa.
I thought they. Oh yeah, they did. Okay, but you could add some beef. Osa's like 280.
Yeah,
I mean, AJ is only
yeah.
300, so it's like he's not that much beefier, but uh yeah, he is definitely the best player on the board in my opinion. You could add Amari. I mean, he's
Amari
330. He
too.
brings all
Yeah.
the beef and size. He's uber
Yeah, that's true.
athletic.
I think NFL scouts would really like Amari actually because he's just so big.
Oh, they're gonna love him, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go Amari Washington now that you say it.
Okay.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, now we have the Lions, who this is interesting too. Do they need defensive interior? I'm just trying to get AJ Holmes off the board. I'm trying to think. They don't. Do they have anybody off the top? I don't think so. They took the dude. They took Tyleek Williams, so he's there. But they kind of need a pass rusher, don't they? Which AJ Holmes is.
They have Aleem McNeil and yeah, they need a DT, bro.
Yeah, so this would be perfect for them.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had 30 hurries last year. I think that would work out perfectly for their pressure type player. Then you can allow Aleem to maybe be your rotational, and then all of a sudden your defensive tackle room is very, very
Right,
scary
and you
out of
pair him with
nowhere.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
So
think
yeah,
that's probably a perfect fit for the Lions, which sucks, but
yeah, I'll take AJ Holmes here, man, and talk about a hell of a player going almost out of the first round. I mean, geez.
But like that's what's gonna happen in this draft, bro. There's just so many good players, and it's
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. All right, Seahawks at 29, which this is crazy. Defending Super Bowl chance at 29, below the Bills and Ravens. What am I thinking here for them?
Yeah, man, it's tough. They kept Shaheed, and they
Yep.
lost a lot of their defensive players. They lost a lot of their edge players. They lost a lot of. I know they lost like Josh Jobe. Did they lose Josh Jobe? I think they did. They lost a lot of their.
They lost Tariq
I would say
Woolen.
glue guys. They lost Tariq Woolen. They lost
Actually-
Boye Mafe.
Is this Bryce Pollock?
I was gonna say I when I'm kind of in doubt here, I was gonna say I would take Bryce Pollock or I would take, kind of replace Mafe with maybe Anthony Smith because in my opinion, he's probably one of the best edges available. But I also really like Pollock, so I think either of them makes sense, honestly. It's kind of just
Yeah.
whatever you think they value more and who you think is better. So I don't know. Pollock makes a ton of sense though, man. He kind of does everything, and that's what they like their DBs to do. They like, or do they take Bray Hubbard? Do they take Bray Hubbard? That feels like such a Seahawks player. That feels like such a Seahawks player. Like, am I wrong?
In the first round,
like,
bro.
Although, do him and Eamon Wari kind of do the same thing? That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I think. Well, it's funny because they're like they're not like anti of each other, but Eamon Wari plays the run so good because he's like athletic as hell, and then Bray's smart as hell. It's probably not Bray here, but
I don't think I'm gonna go Bray. I like the idea though, because I like Bray as a player, but I feel like 29's a little rich.
Yeah. Well, bro, if you think it's Pollock, I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I get Pollock.
Like,
I can't think of another player I'd take here other than Anthony Smith. Maybe I don't think John Henry Daly is going to be a first rounder.
No, dude, I don't think he's going to be a day 2 pick. I had a day 3 grade on him. I don't like him at all.
Yeah.
Now we have
with the injury.
Bills. I mean, John Henry Daly. Let me think though. I mean, I feel like this is kind of another what if with them, like with especially their wide receiver room. What happens with Keon Coleman? What happens with DJ Moore?
Right.
It's like if these guys underperform, do we see them take the best wide receiver available? Do we see them take like a Mario Creever type guy? Hard to say. I think right now I would probably lean on. I don't know. Do you have any ideas? No one's really like jumping. I mean, do they take like Bray? I mean, I would like to get him drafted. If he doesn't, I mean, it makes sense. But like, I don't really see anybody else.
They could also go a linebacker, maybe.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't really like any of the linebackers on the board. I think it's kind of a weaker linebacker class. To be honest.
For sure is a weaker linebacker class.
So like,
they could go like Ty Benefield. We didn't really watch him. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning on. I mean, they like their really, really big edged players too. So Anthony Smith, that makes sense too.
Yeah. If
I might just take him because honestly, that makes sense. It feels like they always have a souped up, hulkish edge player.
Who's the guy they picked in this draft in the second round? What's his name?
Oh, that's kind of true though.
From Clemson.
Yeah. Maybe I just take Bray then. Maybe I just take Bray, and I'm like, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, you pair him with that kid from Utah who's kind of like the opposite. I know he's not that hard of a hitter, and you have a decent DB room. So I'm gonna take Bray Hubbard. That's my boy right there. He goes to the Bills. I don't mind the Bills.
First rounder, bro. That would be elite.
That would be probably not gonna happen, but towards the end of the draft here, where it's kind of more of a crapshoot.
Right, you kind of just go with what you
take some more chances. Yeah.
Take chances.
But yeah, I got the Ravens.
For the Ravens, I'm going to go Drew Mestamaker here. I mean, Lamar has proven that he's not consistent at all, and he's the 69th.
I mean, he's only the 69th play. Yeah, whatever it was.
So obviously he's not a great quarterback, so they're going to need to replace him. But no, in all seriousness, that was probably the dumbest take I've ever seen.
CTE for the NFL players,
like genuinely, high, if you have Lamar below 40, you're smoking crack, bro.
I still think Jeffrey Simmons at 83 is actually insane. Like, bro, I think he probably is going to be a top 15 player for me.
That list is atrocious, bro. That list is atrocious.
No. Yeah.
It's atrocious. But for the Ravens here, not my favorite board of all time.
No, me neither.
I'm almost thinking like running back, bro.
I was going to say, do you try and get a jump on Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry is
with
kind
Ahmad
of closing in on the end, like Ahmad or Mark Fletcher, or even like I know
Frazier.
Like Isaac Brown isn't on this, but like I think I might go Ahmad Hardy. I mean, I think if you get the jump on Derrick Henry and then you give Ahmad Hardy a few years behind Derrick Henry, maybe I think he could really blossom into their starting role. Yeah, I'm gonna go Ahmad Hardy. I think I like that looking at this board.
Yeah, and we talked up Ahmad Hardy, both of us. We both love him. We both think he's uber talented.
He's a great player.
just not great in the receiving game or in pass pro, and that kind of hampers your ability to be a first round running back. But in terms of rushing ability, it's definitely there, man.
Absolutely.
So at pick 31, that feels completely fine for
Yeah,
me.
I mean this is basically the second round at this point. The Ravens don't really have a
yeah,
great board. Yeah, I think you just take talent, and Ahmad Hardy has all the talent in the world, and he could definitely start on this Ravens team once Derrick Henry has kind of finished up his career.
yeah, for sure. And now we have the last pick with the Browns.
Yep.
I am just gonna play it safe. Their O line's pretty garbage. It's in
Mhm.
desperate need of retooling. I'm gonna take the best O lineman available, which in my opinion is Austin Servield, and just give them a tackle that I think they desperately need.
Yeah,
They
I think
pimped
it makes
out the
sense.
rest of their offense, it feels like. They have really, really good players everywhere else outside of like maybe quarterback. And if you walk away from the draft with Dylan Stewart and Austin Servield, two guys who hope to be cornerstones of your franchise for, the
Absolutely.
next half decade or decade, then I feel like you feel pretty good about that. So I'm gonna take Servield here, man. And with that,
100%.
that ends our first round predictive draft. How you
Yeah.
feeling?
I I think
I
we did a
thought
good
it was a good
job.
exercise. Yeah.
I do like doing mock drafts, especially when it's this early. You kind of just
Mm-hmm.
there's really no clue because you're coming into the season. A lot of this is going to change
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, a
But as of
ton.
now, I think we did pretty good. Do you want to talk about like maybe some of our favorite picks here?
Yeah,
Um,
sure. So, I mean, just looking at it, I think like I kind of look at like the Saints getting
mhm.
David Stone. I kind
Yeah,
of look at like Panthers getting Colin Simmons. Somebody probably would have went like first overall. I look
yep,
at the Patriots getting Xavier Brown. I'm like, holy shit. I,
yeah.
I
That
mean, I
is
know that
I
this,
really like that.
yeah, fourth overall pick and you get Jeremiah Smith. That's
Yeah,
like, dude, that's Jeremiah Smith that you just got at the fourth overall pick.
100%.
And then probably one last one for me, Q1 Lacey to the Jags. I mean, man,
Hmm.
the
Yeah, that
Jags
would
already
be
feel
really
like
good.
such a fun offense to me. And if you add Q1 Lacey, he's probably one of the most fun players to watch in this class.
Oh
So,
yeah, easily, easily. I love Q1
yeah, is there
Lacey.
anybody
He's great.
you really, really like?
I mean, just off the top of my head, Jeremiah Smith at 4 is a steal for me.
Yeah,
I love that pick for the
yeah.
Raiders. But like that's pretty basic. If I'm looking otherwise, I actually do like. I think it may be a little rich, but I do like KJ Bolden to the Vikings. Fill that safety
I
spot.
agree.
I like that. I do like Kelly Jones to the Commanders. I think with his
I was gonna shout
length
out
and
that too.
his coverage ability, he's going to really vamp up that secondary.
Mm,
And then, I mean, AJ Holmes to the Lions is a crazy steal. Great
yeah,
scheme fit. That's awesome. And then I got to shout out my boy Bryce Pollock. Well,
oh, for
both of our
sure. Hey,
boys, I
your
guess.
boy, you're
Yeah.
LARPing him. Your boy. That's my
Whoa, whoa,
boy.
whoa! I'm not larping him. I love him.
All right, buddy. But you
um,
know who was first on him first.
whoa, whoa,
But
whoa! Let's not
hey,
jump to
we can watch
conclusions
the
here.
tape. I was glazing him first. All right, when he blows up, it's
Mhm.
all me.
Yeah,
Nah,
right.
but yeah, for sure. No, I think it's a good exercise. It's a fun exercise to kind of predict
Absolutely.
this. I would, even if we got like one of these picks right, I would be amazed. That's how much of a
Yeah,
crapshoot
that would
this
be
is,
nuts.
honestly. So yeah, I think this is a really good insight into this. And obviously, as the season goes on, we're going to cover all of this. We're going to cover if these guys are rising, if they're falling. There's definitely
Right.
names that we didn't even mention on this that are going to be
Oh,
first round
100%.
picks.
100%.
So, I mean, if you're into draft content at all, if you like this type of content, we will consistently do more mock drafts. We will consistently give you guys updates on all this stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, man, I'm excited. It feels like we're so far away from the
I know,
2027
dude. I
draft, but it
know.
feels like this is the first step forward. We're like, all right, we're closer
Yeah,
than we probably think. So,
we're getting there.
yeah,
Well, and we're gonna have
should
so
be a
much fun
fun year.
content coming out too soon. We're
Oh,
gonna
so
have
much.
college conferences. We're gonna have over unders for
Mm-hmm.
wins. We're gonna do the same thing for the NFL. We're gonna hopefully have a
Yep.
top 100 list because the
That
NFL's
would be
one
fun
made
to
by the
do.
players is horrible.
Yes, it's
So
garbage.
we're gonna make our own, and we're gonna have some fun with that. But yeah, a lot of fun content coming out soon. So if you guys enjoy, like we said before, like, subscribe, interact. We very do appreciate it. It's been really fun to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's
And
been
this is
so
our
fun, man.
Yeah, dude, it's been great. And doing this kind of content, like doing mock drafts and stuff, is super fun. A hobby of both of
Mm-hmm.
ours. So yeah, it's just cool to see people enjoying it as well. Did you have anything else that you wanted to say?
No, I'm just I'm excited, man, to get into it. This is a good first video into the 2027 class. So,
So excited for the seasons to start, both college and NFL.
yep, me
I know
too.
Cam is as well. We're gonna hopefully get to watch the games together. We're gonna react together and stuff like that. So,
Yes, sir.
if you guys enjoy this, again, just subscribe, keep track of some of the videos coming out soon. We're gonna have hopefully more content coming out very quickly. Good turnaround.
Yep.
Because some of the stuff that we're gonna do takes less time to research.
Yeah.
Because we've already done a lot of it. So, but yeah. So this is the Neutral Zone. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will catch you
Yep.
guys in the next one.
See ya.